Welcome everybody to the Keys to Wisdom channel. So in this video here, I want to share some work I've been collaborating on with Daniel McKenna. His YouTube channel is called Spread the Holy Math. I'm going to throw a link down in the description box over to his channel. I want to give him a big shout out because he's been working with me on trying to put together some of the images created from the upcoming total solar eclipse on April 8th, 2024 that most people know about. And what we're doing here together is relating that total solar eclipse not only into the 2017 solar eclipse that everybody knows that the 2024 total solar eclipse is related into, but we're relating it into a series which will be 6 United States of America based total solar eclipses, beginning in 1970, followed by 1972, 1991, 1979, 1991, 2017, and 2024. So already we've put things together and we've come out with some very significant things, and we're attempting to try to flush out any other significant things within them. So the big cross that's being made, pretty much everybody knows about that, but one thing that I want to highlight in terms of that is that there are 3 islands down in Mexico along the path of the 2024 total solar eclipse that marks a cross with the 1991 total solar eclipse, and that's over the islands of Isla Maria Magdalena, Isla Maria Madre, and Isla San Juanito. And these are directly related to the big cross being made from 2017 and 2024. And they're in depictions out there with those 3, Mary, and John at the foot of the cross of Jesus. I know a lot of people are aware of the big cross and the whole deal, but very few are aware of that symbolism of those 3 there at the foot of that cross. So I'm going to be putting images behind my talking here today to try to show people some of the stuff that we have figured out and been able to put together to illustrate, to show some of the rather large symbolism involved in this event. And then again, I put out in the last video, I think I titled it the 2024 Total Solar Eclipse Whale. And that whale or big fish is comprised of the first and the last of the total solar eclipses in the 6 USA total solar eclipse series. Right, it began on March 7th, 1970, otherwise known as Adair Aleph 29th, 5730. And it is going to end here on 4/8/2024, April 8th, otherwise known as Adair Bet 29th, 5784. So it has the alpha and the bet component to it, right? And when you put it together with the other total solar eclipse passes, it is a fine large fish or a whale swimming through 3 waves. A lot of people have been getting wise to some of the sign of Jonah things involved in this. And here, where this series of USA total solar eclipses began and where it ends, it creates a giant whale, right? And 3 waves signifying the 3 days, right? People are starting to figure out that there's a whole lot of manevas along the paths, just like in 2017. A whole lot of people were looking at how many cities named Salem were along those paths, right? There are a lot of things that have been marked on the face of our earth in relation to these coming total solar eclipses well ahead of time. The three Islas at the foot of the cross, right? They're named that because of what is occurring in 2024 along with 2017, right? They're put there intentionally. People knew ahead of time the path of these total solar eclipses, and those three islands were named after Mary, and John because of this event. And there are many instances where these cities are named Salem, Nineveh, along these paths, also in relation to this event from those who had prior knowledge. So I'm going to throw that image in again and show that whale. It comes out very clear that it's a big fish with a tail, and it's a very significant thing in our opinion from the work that we've been doing on it. It's something that people are not aware of, nor are they aware of the connection to the 1970 total solar eclipse that it's involved with. So we're trying to raise awareness of that, and I'll have those images in there. Another thing that we've been working on is trying to place some Hebrew and Greek letters in terms of using the perimeter of where all the crossings have been made on from these 6 total solar eclipses. And I think we've got a pretty good match with the Hebrew letter Mem, both the open and closed form. I'll throw that in there. Then we have the obvious X or cross of the Chi or the Chi, and we've also added in the rho. So I've got some images I'm going to throw in involving Mem, Chi, Rho, or Mem, Chi, Rho, however you want to say it. And we're still working on other things, but we've come across a very, very significant thing yesterday, and working on it a little bit more today to flush everything out. The total amount of crosses created from these 6 total solar eclipses 10. And when Dan McKENNA started doing the work that we are talking about and illustrating it in collaboration with me, right, we discovered that there was a very large tent made out of connecting. At first we were using 9 of the crosses, and we connected all of the crossing points, and it came out of a tent, and it has an appearance of like a pentagram within the tent. And when Dan sent it over to me and I looked at it, the very first thing that popped into my mind was the tent of the tabernacle. And then we talked about it, and the number 10 is heavily involved in terms of the tabernacle, right? So we did another updated image using all 10 of the crosses, and you're going to see that illustrated within here too. And like Dan pointed out, right, in the word tents, right, what a difference a space makes. 10 space T, right? The word tent has implications to saying 10 crosses. The letter T, 10 tau, 10 crosses, right? So I find this to be a very, very significant thing. And when we staked it out to all 10 of these tents, I'm kind of debating on the orientation of it, right? Whether the stakes to the tent that we put in would be signifying the opening or the back. And just going off of what is said about the tabernacle and the orientation to the east, it is probably signifying the back. But these are things here that, well, we still have time to work on it, and a lot of people are interested in it, even though we don't have completed work and all of the other things that we want to share in terms of the relation of what is going on to the living word. Right, for this video here, we want to share this with other people who are out there that are interested in preparing for doing things in relation to this upcoming total solar eclipse and other past solar eclipses. Right, everybody who's really talking about this is at least talking about the last two total solar eclipses. We have a much greater and expanded work going involving the last 6 USA related total solar eclipses, and all of it is very significant within the word, and we're going to show a lot more of that later, but we want to share this stuff right here right now with other people out there because we want to help everybody have avenues for learning and teaching this stuff, and also open up doors to be able to learn some stuff from other people who might expand upon this, right? So like when Daniel and I are collaborating on this stuff, Daniel is an excellent student, but at the same time, right, he's also an excellent teacher. And with myself, in terms of the word and everything that I do, I always try to have a two-way street going with anybody that I'm dealing with. Not I'm the teacher, you're the student, or you're the teacher, I'm the student. Right? I believe firmly that at all times it should be a two-way street, and that there really is no teachers out there worth their weight in salt or anything else if they are not also constantly trying to be students of those who are learning with them. Right? I do not believe in the philosophy of one-way street teaching and learning. So I'm going to put this together and share this with others so that hopefully some people can pick up on some of this idea here, and there can be a two-way street formed from it. Right? Some people can see these images here of the whale in 3 waves and possibly learn from what we're doing and turn around and possibly teach us a little something in return. And the same thing here with the tent of the tabernacle, that we can make some people aware of these 10 crosses and this big giant tent that is made when you connect all of the crosses together, and hopefully some people can learn from us and then turn around and be able to teach us a little something about this. Right? And the same thing going on with the 3 islands at the foot of the cross that most people are aware of, right? Even most people are not aware of those 3 islands depicting being at the foot of the cross and being in all kinds of artwork out there. But we're also interested in looking at what other people are talking about in terms of city placements along these total solar eclipses and absolutely anything else. I personally have been working on this subject and expanding it and expanding it and expanding it for many, many years now. But here we are, fairly close to this event, and it feels like there's so little time and still so much to do. And like I told Dan yesterday, hopefully we can Willy Wonka this and then strike that and reverse it and eventually get to the point where we can feel like the work is finished and that there is so little to do and so much time beforehand.